Welcome back to the Old Colony Cast podcast about all things Plymouth and surrounding areas. I'm going to apologize up front if there's any weird extra noise or it's a little echoey. We just moved into new offices and we're still kind of getting settled in. But joined today by the other host, Hannah.
Hello.
And our newly relocated producer, editor, Fish.
Hello. And Andy, did you introduce yourself?
I didn't.
No. And also joining us is Hannah's other host, Andy, who...
I don't think I ever introduced
You really
myself.
don't...
I'm really bad at it.
You for somebody who talks about themselves so much, you forget to talk about yourself.
I just assume everyone knows me. Did I bump the table? I apologize. Yeah, I just assume everybody knows me. I don't know why.
But not Hannah? Everyone's favorite?
Well, funny you should mention that.
Why?
Well, I have a fan.
You have a fan?
Yeah.
Other than the random person that recognized you?
Well, I mean, it's the same person.
It
Shut
is?
up. Actually, I think you're his favorite too. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I ran into him again. His name is...
like, who is it?
Chris?
Chris?
Question mark? It's either Josh or Chris. I'm pretty sure I guessed Josh, and he corrected me that it was Chris. But, so, shout out for Chris for listening. He was, I think he was listening to the pizza one while he was mowing the lawn. I saw him at Mayflower. I think I was there for Funktopus. So, Funktopus? Great band.
Never heard of it.
They're really good. I strongly recommend you check them out. But shout out, thanks for listening, man. And
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, or Josh. Pretty sure.
Or Josh.
Pretty sure it's Chris. But before we get into the thing, I wanted to, can we get like a breaking news? Like that kind of thing.
That was good.
But you want
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll just leave that.
Oh, okay.
So flamingos, Cape Cod. I assume you saw that. Shut up. Shut up.
Why do I even show up?
I didn't. Well,
What? Is this whole episode about a flamingo?
I guess.
You're right, it is.
So, Hannah, what are we talking about today?
How did I see this coming? No, so big news on the Cape is a flamingo was spotted.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. I thought it was an altered image when I first saw it.
That was...
Just the picture, until I saw the video, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Even the article I saw about it was... The writer of the article was like, I thought this was fake.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a bunch of photos.
Yeah, the videos is what sold it to me.
Yeah.
Because the first photo I think that came out was very zoomed in. And it's like, this is so...
bad.
Photoshopped.
Yeah.
But it's just like a cell phone picture from very far away.
Right.
So it distorts the picture.
Yeah.
The way a cell phone picture would.
So I don't have any information on it. So I was just going to be like, hey, did you guys see that?
I did see it. I was sent a few things about it. It's the first possibly wild flamingo sighting. We have had flamingo sightings in Massachusetts before.
But that's usually like an escaped bird.
An escaped bird, exactly, yes. So I read an article that was posted yesterday, I believe. Not yesterday, the 5th. From ABC News. Meredith DeLusso did a great job. So I got a lot of my insights. Because she did some interviewing of some folks about it and got a lot of information from it. She did a great job. So it was down on Chapin Beach in Dennis.
Okay. Is that like midway down the
I think so. I was literally just going to ask because I meant to look at it the other day.
I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's midway inside Elbow.
That's what I thought also.
Yeah.
Dennis
We're
is
going to
nice.
get that checked out.
Mark Faraday, science coordinator for the Mass Audubon Cape Cod, said that's likely the same one that was spotted on Long Island not that long ago.
Yeah.
So New York experienced the same
flamingo?
Most likely the same flamingo.
Okay, and for my map research, Andy, you were right.
Inside Elbow?
About halfway down the arm inside.
Nice.
Pretty good.
So call it peak bicep.
Okay.
What's so funny about knowing and not knowing where towns are on the Cape, I'm like so out of my league when it comes to that. And we live so close to the Cape. And I know...
I think it's because if you don't live on Cape, you think of Cape Cod as one thing. Because I do the same thing with Rhode Island. People be like, ooh, where in Rhode Island? I'm like, I don't know. It's like one big town.
Yeah.
It's not big enough to care.
Yeah.
But I'm... There's some towns people tell me, and I'm like, what? That's on the Cape? Are you serious? There's a T ticket.
What?
It's a smaller part of a town, similar to like Manamet.
Oh.
So
I thought you meant there was like a ticket you bought for the T.
No, there's a T ticket. T ticket, Massachusetts.
TEA.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
And it's
well, there's all sorts of weird little villages around.
And so it's part of wherever, but it has
Falmouth.
Falmouth, yeah, and it has its own little zip code. And, yeah, and then
they're like, we're not part of Falmouth, we're T ticket.
Yeah.
It's got a Walmart.
Yeah.
And a couple of pizza places.
And when you you can address it to T ticket, not Falmouth. So but it is part of Falmouth.
I used to live in Elmwood, East Bridgewater.
Well, it's the same as Onset in Wareham. Like Onset is
Bryanville and Hanson.
Yes. Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah. It's like if you don't live there, you really don't.
We just don't care.
Know or care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little side note about Elmwood.
What?
It's got the oldest still. I'm gonna say still functioning. It was still functioning when I lived there, and it wasn't that long ago. Post office. It's like inside an antique store.
Where's Elmwood?
East Bridgewater.
Oh, East Bridgewater.
And
is the Elmwood post office still open?
Yes.
It's basically like post office boxes and a tiny, tiny space behind it where the postmaster / all workers for it sits.
That's fine. Yeah. So back to Mark. Mark Faraday. Last year, there was a hurricane.
Okay.
Right? So
sure.
Mark is kind of the insights to all this stuff. Idalia. So it went through not much of the U.S., but it hit more of the tropical regions of North America, islands, where
Key Westy kind of stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
And it certainly flew into land, but it wasn't as strong by the time it hit it. So what happened is it caught a few flocks of different flamingos and scattered them. That happens with other birds all the time, except we don't notice it as much if they're smaller species.
Yeah, unless you're the kind of person
unless you're a 3-foot tall pink bird.
Yeah, like
you're like, that's new.
Yeah. Unless you're the kind of person who pays
very close attention,
a lot of attention to random birds because this is your hobby. You're a bird watcher. Sometimes getting the random things on your life list that you will not see locally, you care, and you're getting up at 4 a.m. to drive to...
I'm not going to lie. When I was in New Hampshire and driving back home, I was like, okay, I'll make it home around 2. How long would it take me to get to Dennis? But it had been days since the sighting happened, so it was like, what's
the likelihood it's still there?
Yes, exactly. And it hasn't been spotted since. But
very stealthy, these flamingos.
It could have moved on. It could just be somewhere. Cape is huge, and it has so many places that people can't even visit as far as beach access goes. So could be somewhere a little bit more secluded. So last year, hurricane, right? So there were sightings in Virginia, the Carolinas, Kentucky, Texas, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin.
A flamingo in Wisconsin?
A flamingo in Wisconsin.
I hesitate to say that was a storm-tossed bird, because that's very lost.
So I'll tell you about that in a second.
Please do, because that
Stop jumping ahead in her notes.
I'm not.
So rude.
I'm segueing.
So
rude in my job.
Florida feels like a given, but it was once a native area to flamingos.
I thought it still was. Is it not?
Land, Florida. Sorry, microphone. The land, like the actual peninsula, doesn't have any more native flocks that home there and nest there.
Oh, okay.
But with all the work they're doing on the wetlands and like the Everglades and stuff, the hope is that they come back, and the lower states, the southern states, will start to see way more flamingo sightings because of that. Because
flamingos aren't endangered, right? They're not like a...
there's certain ones that are like are threatened in certain areas.
Okay.
So like how do I explain this? There's certain birds that in certain areas of like the world are more populated than here, and that's the case with certain species of flamingos. Okay. And it doesn't mean that they're even on their endangered list, but like they were once native of Florida, and now they're technically extinct from the area, but not extinct at all.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there are 6 species of flamingo.
Yes. Thank you. New. So there are 6 species of flamingo. That wasn't what I was going to talk about next.
Sorry.
That's okay, but thank you for talking about it. So what I just mentioned, when the birds get, I believe this is what I gathered to be what it is. It's called a flamboyance phenomenon.
When one is spotted outside.
When the birds specifically get spun out of course or thrown off course from a weather event.
Okay. Flamboyance phenomenon.
Yes.
That should be the name of a drag show.
And the birds that are displaced, typically, like, they don't try to come back. They just become refugees in that area. Also, I might, this is one of those things, I think they call it that because I think a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm fairly certain. I didn't even look that up. It's just my deductive reasoning. Fish is like, don't worry, I'm looking it up. So, Jerry Lorenz of the Audubon in Florida said that he agrees with the hurricane theory.
Yeah.
So right now we have 2 Audubon science specialists
that believe that's what happened.
Believe that this is a bird, very lost bird.
Because assuming the first thing you do is call the zoo and be like, "Hey, man,
how's your
counted your birds?
Yeah, how's your head count looking?" And he added that the bird may have flown the wrong way home after getting pushed off course.
Oh, so like maybe it got pushed to like.
What if he was a Virginia one?
DC.
Yeah.
And then was like, I know how to get home.
Yes, exactly. So.
And the whole way here, he just kept hearing rerouting.
Yeah, so
rerouting.
There's a species of flamingos, greater flamingos, one of the 6, that is known to be very directionally challenged.
Okay.
And they will fly in the wrong direction a complete 180 degrees from where they intended to fly to.
So that kind of like makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Is he a great flamingo?
I don't think the species has been confirmed yet.
If it's a wild flamingo in the West, probably not. No. Because greater flamingos are old world flamingos.
And there's American flamingos. I had the list. Hang tight. But
I got it.
You got it?
Okay, so there are greater and lesser flamingos in the old world.
Or lesser flamingos.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? They're smaller. It's how it is. And then we have the Chilean, James's, Andean, and American or Caribbean flamingo, which is the Floridian one.
Yeah, that's likely what the flamingo.
Yeah, everything else is like in the Andes.
Yeah.
If we get a flamingo from the Andes, it's real lost.
Yeah, really
big hurricane.
Yeah, I'm very worried.
He also said that the bird could just be kind of curious and didn't have anything going on, so it's just checking things out, checking
just
the
going
vibes.
On vacation.
And then he also quoted us saying that the flamingos are just weird birds.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
We talked a bit about the restoration of Florida wetlands that will bring more sightings to the states. Massachusetts, this is where I got into like, this is how do you know, how can we confirm that this is flamingo is wild? You obviously like check out the zoos. There's a full-on committee that gets brought evidence and will declare whether or not this is a wild. I keep going to say penguin.
It's definitely not a penguin.
No, wild flamingo. It's the Massachusetts Avian Records Committee.
Okay.
And they're an official group of I don't want to say birders. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're birders.
I assume they're people who work for Mass Audubon.
And they do, but they are the record keepers for animals sightings in the state of Massachusetts.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
But for just birds.
Just birds.
And we have them for mammals. We have them for everything.
Yeah, and like insects and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been on this site before, on mass.gov. It's fun for me because it's how I find out like how rare a sighting is of something I might have seen.
Yeah.
So I saw, I believe it's a white-tailed weasel once, which they are native around here.
Okay.
But they're not very common to see because they're very sneaky.
Yeah.
They're very cute, but they're also just a little bit on the rare side. I was going to say they're very
cute, and that makes them hard to see.
Yeah. Your eyes, they just can't handle it. You're like, oh!
The cuteness! It hurts!
Yes. So if you look at that list, it gives you everything from blue jays on. Like, they're not just saying, like, the rare ones or the ones that shouldn't be here. That's all birds. And then there's a certain cadence to how they're categorized. Like, the ones emboldened, like, on the list are the ones that are non-native.
Okay.
That were found here.
Okay.
And then there's ones that are, like, marked if they are endangered or once labeled extinct or are extinct.
Oh, okay.
And the last time they were seen. So the great auk is on there, which was our native penguin to this area.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a native penguin to this area.
It's not really it's technically not a penguin. I think it's more related to pigeons.
Okay. It doesn't look anything like a pigeon.
No, it basically looks like...
It looks like a penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying penguin, it looks like a penguin. But it was like 1680 was like the last time one was seen.
Yeah, they got smushed out pretty early.
Yeah. So I think I wanted to put great auk on the list at one point too, because I was like, oh, it's so cool. Because like they have it like colonial records of it and stuff, and that's something that natives used to hunt and stuff. They'd be like great auk.
Like, these are delicious. Where'd they all go?
Yeah, I know. No, well, they certainly didn't go extinct because of the natives. Oh, so they're looking at the evidence. They're going to be given the evidence, the Massachusetts Avian Records Committee. And then once they hold committee and look over everything, they will decide if this is in fact
officially
a wild flamingo sighting.
Are they going to try to figure out if it's the same one that was seen in New York? Or is there
I don't know if there's a real way to notate that, because you're not supposed to like get that close to birds. It's like
unless the bird has been tagged or leaves like a feather you can get DNA from. It's
kind of tough.
Yeah, you can't.
I wasn't sure if there was like markings like you could do with like a whale or something.
I mean, there probably are, but they're.
I mean, it is wearing an I Heart New York t-shirt. Thank you, Hannah.
You're welcome. I would think too, flamingos like plumage changes with like what it's eating, that kind of stuff. So I don't think they would trust it by markings necessarily. But I'm sure New York has the same committee, and I bet they will talk to New York about it. So we're waiting on the final word. But yes, no zoos have come out so far and said that they're missing one.
Yeah, so it could be a privately owned collection.
I guess. I feel like that's a super weird thing.
Yeah, but
flamingo.
But
I know what happens.
Really wealthy people keep weird things.
Yeah, rich people get weird pets.
Oh, I know.
That's how you get.
And that's usually when it's like, oh, there's a tiger loose in Antonia.
In Antonia?
Antonio. I'm just making a. It was not a real thing. I was just.
Wait, is there a town called Antonio?
Sure. Why not?
Somewhere, I'm sure.
You know there's not?
I don't. You know what? I won't look it up.
It doesn't matter. I wasn't referencing something specific.
I was very confused.
The first thing that popped into my head.
Listen, we're very literal people.
I know that's true.
So, anyway, it's
right next to San Antonio. Is that better?
No.
It's just Antonio.
Antonio and San Antonio.
That's the deal with the flamingo thus far. But this, I was actually thinking it was funny that the flamingo showed up because we had another visitor to the area not that long ago.
I still have flamingo questions.
What are your flamingo questions?
Well, I'm assuming it's eating.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, they saw it eating.
Like, are they making plans to do something? Because I feel like it's not going to survive a winter here.
No, but flamingos do migrate.
Yeah.
They do have that instinct in them. So
it would likely fly south.
Yes.
Anyways? Oh, okay.
What they can do about it now is like, I don't want to say like
give it a map.
Yeah, next to nothing, but
give it a compass.
It's fine for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll, see how September feels, and if it's still loitering around like Eastham, then
I think there would be a different approach. Yeah. I just think from the vibe I got from the article is that it's not a concern. Yeah, it's not on the radar yet.
Okay.
Yeah, the summer is totally cool weather for it right now. So
yeah.
So a visitor, polar bear?
No. Think
kangaroo.
Marine mammal though.
Okay, not a kangaroo.
Oh, we had a
killer whale.
No, wait, killer whale?
Both.
No,
yeah.
Right whale.
Both.
Gray whale.
Gray whale.
Yeah.
We had a killer whale, but I wasn't sure they weren't.
They're not native to this area.
Yeah.
No.
Was it in the canal?
No, it was. Hold on, I have a list.
All right. She's finding her list. She's looking.
If we don't talk about this, I can cut this part out.
I know, but I figured if I talk about it,
so the killer whale was 7 miles off Chatham.
Yep.
So that was not that long ago. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's not the first time. I think one last year popped up too, or a school of them.
Pod.
The pod. Thank you. Sorry, 3 of them.
I can't remember. I don't remember that.
I believe. And then the gray whale. That's the crazier thing.
Okay.
So gray whales have been considered extinct from this side of the ocean for a long time, for centuries. 2 centuries, over 2 centuries.
Wow.
Isn't that wild? And that was spotted 30 miles off of Nantucket on March 1st. They just haven't existed in this area in a long time.
And by that I mean, I don't think they've been in the Atlantic.
Yes, like
Atlantic when she says this side of the ocean, she means the Atlantic Ocean, not like the off Massachusetts.
The left side.
Yeah.
This coast of the top of the U.S. No,
this body of water.
They haven't been on this ocean in a long time.
Interesting.
Yes. Funny you should mention right whales, because I was kind of explaining to Johnny what I was talking about today, and I was like, I said, to mention right whales is so different because North Atlantic right whales specifically, there's different kinds.
Yeah.
There's less than 500 on the planet of North Atlantic right whales. So to see one is... You have less of a chance of seeing one of those in the wild than you do, like, a panda. There's less than pandas.
Wow, really?
Yes. So, yes, it is rare to see them, but this is their native
This is their area.
Yeah. So
it'd be rarer to see a panda.
Yeah, if I was out on a whale watch and I saw a panda...
If you look off the right side of the boat, you'll see a panda breach.
So, I have seen a right whale.
Okay.
Yes. And it was... I could barely see it, but I saw it.
I went on one whale watch and I don't think I saw any whales.
No, if you did, you didn't see any whales?
I don't think so.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
They're very good now. They do a good job at making sure you see whales.
I mean, this was like...
It needs to be a very off day to not see a whale.
I was very young.
Yeah.
It was a not great day.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was either me or my sister, I think, got seasick.
Yeah.
And... I mean, so you're talking early 80s?
Yeah. Was it this area?
Yeah, it had to have been.
So...
And then it was probably Captain John.
It probably was Captain John.
So
not poo-pooing Captain John.
No, what I'm saying is, like, it's the whale watch we've all probably been on.
This is 1980s Radar, which is a guy named Radar sitting out in the front of the boat being like, I think I see one!
So they changed
I love you on MASH!
I forget what it's called, but I think it's like the North Atlantic something blah 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 sanctuary.
Yeah.
Marine sanctuary.
Marine sanctuary waters. Like, I don't think existed then.
Okay.
So there's specific laws in that area to keep the whale population safe.
Yeah.
And give them somewhere to be.
Yeah. There was a lot of issues with that. Was it last year or the year before? With like the whales getting really close to fishing boats around here.
Yes. Well, you cannot be within 50 yards of a. You can't approach marine mammals. That's part of the law.
Yeah.
You can't approach further than whatever X amount of yards. They can come up to your boat,
and I think that was the issue.
Yeah, if they are, you engines off.
Yeah,
it's tough to explain to the whales that there's like...
Oh, so you can't even like go, like you just have to sit there.
You just have to wait it out till they've passed you a little bit and
that's kind of like, why are these people not moving?
Be a good citizen if you're trying to get out of the way of them, like you are going too nuts. Like you're, you know what I mean? You're not speeding away. Yeah. But yeah, that's why.
Okay, that makes more. I'm glad you explained that because
they slow down your day, and you have to figure out where they are and try to go the opposite way.
Right.
But they're going wherever they want.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's the same. Like that law is the same as with seal population, and we talked about that with the great white sharks.
Yep.
Like, reason why we have so many in the 80s, the law changed for marine life.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But that's probably why your whale watch was not that good. I also don't know, they're required to have a marine biologist on every whale watch now, which kind of helps
them locate them.
Yes, I don't know if that was a thing then.
That's got to be a very cool job.
It does. Especially because I think they do it based off like food.
I almost said something really dumb. I'm like, what if you don't like boats and you're marine? Oh, never mind.
So the thing with that sanctuary I was talking about, the more important part is I think they just noticed that plankton can exist anywhere in the ocean at any given time. Some areas might have more or less, but that area gives itself to naturally have a lot. Yeah. So they're preserving that area so whales have somewhere to eat.
Yeah.
Too. So that's the deal with the whales. 2 crazy whale sightings.
And a bird.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
I'm going last 4 years, some of the wackiest sightings we've seen. I wanted to talk about this one first because it was also a bird. You might remember this guy popping down the New England coastline for a little bit.
Ostrich?
No.
Emu.
He was definitely soaring.
Sea eagle.
Yes. The Stellar sea eagle.
The heck's a sea eagle?
It's, I think, the biggest predatory bird in the world.
It is,
oh, wow. Okay.
It's huge.
It's massive. Massive.
Okay.
I just saw one at a zoo.
This is like one of those things where you see like the photo of a person sitting next to it, and you're like, how is that even possible?
So your frame of sitting in the chair right now, it would be the same size as you sitting in the chair. Like, probably taller. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Okay.
So,
I'm not doubting you.
I just want you to know. They're big.
It does have a cool beard.
No.
Yeah.
They're cool looking though. And yes, so it got...
What was it? Sea eagle?
Sea eagle. So what's weird about those is the closest area we have in the U.S. to that is Alaska. Because their native range is Russia. And
wow.
that side of the world.
How did it get here?
It flew.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, is it
answer,
tired.
It flew, but we still don't know. That one was marked as wild.
I was going to say, did that go through the whole
yes.
process?
I actually checked it on the list. That was the only sighting ever in Massachusetts of one. And the following year...
Sea eagle. They look cool.
Yeah, the following year, it was still living in Maine.
Really?
Yes. So I don't know if it's still there, but it was still there the following year. Because I remember birding people were like, it's still here, everyone. And it's like you could see it with regular, bald eagles.
Yeah.
And it's so much bigger than the bald eagle.
They're 3 feet tall.
Can they crossbreed with them? Like, are we
No,
gonna
I
get
doubt
like?
it.
I mean, honestly, birds are weird, so maybe.
I just don't think so.
They're pretty cool looking.
They are. So the Steller's sea eagle, not seagull.
No, 3 feet
Definitely.
tall, 9 foot wingspan. They're big chunking birds.
9 foot.
Up to
9 foot.
9 foot.
Wow.
All the way up to 9 foot. Yeah.
And then, last but not least, do you remember the manatee that was in Rhode Island last year?
I do not.
Wow.
I can't remember. I'm gonna say no because I don't think I do.
So this was a complex issue
Okay.
because you're concerned about the flamingo,
Yeah.
right? So this was in September.
Okay. So much shorter window.
Yeah.
of-
It was spotted in Quanachatog Pond.
Yeah.
It's a saltwater lagoon.
oh, okay.
So it's
Thank
like,
you.
I was like, wait, what?
it's
Yeah,
like
I saw Andy's face. It's like there's a manatee in this pond, and everything about that is wrong and confusing.
It's like the lagoon in
Gilligan's Island.
Jaws or Gilligan's Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love that show.
Great show.
Yeah. So that's where it was. It was there for about a month.
Yeah.
It did not make it. However, they believe part of the reason it was up here anyway was that something was wrong with it anyway.
Okay.
It was very hard to not intervene because they're a sensitive animal anyway.
Yeah, and I can't imagine a manatee
That's a long way for
moseying all the way up the Atlantic seaboard, because that is
I think it was just something was up with it.
physically, that is a
It's a
long way, and they are not fast.
No, they're not.
That's what I remember. They're swimming up the ocean, just like, I don't know where anyone went. Like, poor little manatee. So that was the other very rare, not at all native sighting of something here. What's up?
Because I needed to look that up after Hannah saying
The land speed.
Well, the land speed of a manatee is probably 0.
I can roll.
The sea speed, they generally swim at 3 to 5 miles per hour.
Oh my god.
They must have been making that trip for years.
With a maximum sprint speed of a actually very respectable 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they can get the gears in. If
Like,
they need to.
I mean,
that's a sprint.
Yeah, that is... I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it is not a long-term 20 miles an hour.
No.
Like, it's doing 20 miles an hour, but for, like, its body length or something. Like, it's going very quickly, very short distances.
Manatees are so sweet. So, yeah, that was a sad one. I tried to look into other things, which are... they're a little bit more commonplace and of animals that used to exist here, so it's not... It wasn't that weird. I was like, what about mountain lions? Like, what's up with those? Western Mass gets kind of, like, several sightings of them in a span of a 10-year period. So it's not
I would not be
of.
surprised if there were some out there.
Yeah.
Like right now, because I know for a while there was talk about people keep seeing them in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're in Connecticut, I can't imagine they can't make it up the...
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not far.
Like, yeah. And there's been a lot of people, like the Connecticut Wildlife's very specifically saying, there aren't any in Connecticut, mainly because if there are, it becomes a much bigger deal on their end legally.
Yeah. No, I remember seeing a video. Someone from Connecticut got a video
of a mountain lion, like, in their
Did we talk
yard.
about this already?
I don't know if we did or
We
if
did
just...
a lot of episodes.
No, I don't think on air.
There's a non-zero chance that Hannah and I have talked about weird, out-of-place animals before.
I'm like, this sounds so familiar, but I remember seeing the video, and people were like, no, it's a bobcat or something stupid, and it's very clearly a mountain lion.
Bobcat looks nothing like a mountain lion.
I know.
No. Mountain lions, weird. Weird-shaped little cats.
Is that all your notes?
That's really it. I mean, I just
Did you not hear about the other unusually seen animal?
Was it Bigfoot in the Bridgewater Triangle?
Bigfoot's not real.
Okay, what was it?
It was the fox on my neighbor's back porch.
The foxes aren't that weird.
I just lounging on my neighbor's back porch.
Yeah, I don't think that...
I thought it was
Did I not hear about that?
How did you not hear about that?
I think you were in New Hampshire at the time, so you were far enough away that he did not tell you the story at least 3 times.
So, like, my landlady sends me a picture.
Yeah.
And was, like, worried because, like, foxes are, like, weird because they kind of around, like, dusk and dawn.
Yeah.
This is, like, middle of the day.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, do not go near it. First.
Yeah.
But then I'm like texting with my friend who used to work animal control. I'm like, is this normal? She's like, no, not really. She's like, it could just be sunning itself.
Yeah.
So you just hung out for a bit.
I think a lot of people get nervous about the nocturnal animal thing, but the thing to remember is it's not that they're asleep during the day and you shouldn't ever see them awake. It's just they do most of their life-preserving activities at night.
Yeah.
So eating, like, where they're things that put them most vulnerable, they do at night.
Yeah.
So
I was just worried that it was sick because it was so, like, just, like, I see animals all the time downtown. Mm-hmm. But it was just, like, hanging out for, like, hours.
It can.
Yeah. It was just unusual.
I don't
think surprised it wasn't in your notes. That's all.
Sorry. No, I don't think I would put foxes on the list.
How about wolves?
Wolves, I probably would. I didn't even think about wolves since last sighting.
Okay, so poking around, apparently, people might have been reporting wolves in 2018 out in, like, Pioneer Valley, like out in Western Mass.
I know exactly where the Pioneer Valley is. That's where Mount Tom is.
I recall that episode.
Yeah, so I could see them, like,
that chalks up,
tootling around down from
Canada. Are there still sightings of panthers? Because that was, like, a thing, wasn't it? Or is that just, like, the mountain?
That's a mountain.
That's a mountain. Okay.
Because I know...
No, this is a real specific...
No, because I went to Whitman-Hanson. It was the Whitman-Hanson Panthers, and I'm like, why is it called Panthers? And I'm like, panthers were native around this area.
Panther isn't a...
Oh, it's just like it's a generic term?
Yeah.
Panther is a very generic term for generally a black cat.
Okay.
But usually the black cat in question is either a leopard or a jaguar that just happens to have all black fur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although, if you look at them in the right light, they still have spots, which is very cool, black on black.
That's like black cats.
Yeah.
They're tabby cats that are just all dark, so if you see them in the right light, you can see their stripes.
Patterns.
Yeah.
What if you shave them?
I don't know. Give it a shot.
All right.
Go find
Any
one.
listeners have a black cat that wants to shave, you just email us.
I wouldn't even think of wolves, but I am of the... Did you watch that, like, Coy Wolf documentary that came out?
Yes.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
It's like...
It was on, like, Netflix about 5-6 years ago.
I feel like it's even older than that, honestly.
But it's
good.
It's a documentary about eastern populations of coyotes.
That are just...
Which are larger and have different behaviors than the western version, so they've been calling them coy wolves because people think they've been crossbreeding with wolves, which is, in retrospect, a little weird because they overlap a lot more out west, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah. But it would have been a long time ago to create the coy wolf we see today. One of, like, the things that is weird about them is that, so a lot of people claim they see packs of coyotes. Coyotes aren't pack animals.
Okay.
They are mated pairs.
I think the most I've ever seen is
they take care of their cubs.
Yeah.
So they might have older cubs and people are seeing that. Or if they're truly seeing packs.
Well, that's all that most wolf packs are, I think, anyway, is... I thought wolf packs were just like the breeding pair and then, like, their children.
No, they're big.
I know, but I still think it's like it's a family unit.
It's people are related.
Yeah.
The wolves are related. But no, there's far more than just the immediate. There's brothers and sisters stay together and
Yeah, I think it's...
But it's...
Yeah, it's a bigger family unit, but it's still a family unit.
It is.
Yeah.
But coyotes dump their kids after. Wolves keep going...
so smart.
Yeah. Wolves keep having kids and keeping the old ones. They're all just a part of the pack. That's how they hunt successfully. But coyotes don't do that. They're just the two that take care of their little family, and then they're big enough, and then they shoo them away.
That's not a good job. Move out.
So that's one of the things. Besides all, like, the genetic stuff where, like, the jaw structure is bigger and, like, they have a larger canine set and this, that, and the other. But, That's pretty much all I got on the rare animal sightings, or the lost animals.
The misplaced animals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Animals on vacation?
I think the technical term is out-of-place animals.
Out-of-place animals. Yeah, not rare animal sighting. Rare for up here.
Yeah. Lots of flamingos, just not normally in Dennis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and soon-to-be spiders.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. They parachute?
They parachute to get around. I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
They're like an orb weaver.
They're like big.
But yeah, they're big. Their legs are 4 inches long.
I kind of want to see those.
One of their legs, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard they're big, but they're not, like, aggressive. They're very shy.
Oh, yeah. And they're, like, poisonous like any other spider is poisonous to us. Like, they're not...
Yeah, all spiders are venomous.
Yeah, thank you, venomous, not poison.
Yeah.
I mean...
They're not going to, like, send you to the hospital.
I'm going to argue that if you eat one of those spiders, you're probably not going to feel that great. Because you're getting...
So join us next time when we have a spider taste test.
But yeah, it's, unless you have a specific allergen to that, it probably won't bug you that much. It might not even hurt that much. You get bit by a spider, sometimes you don't even know you are.
Yeah.
Until after.
Yeah.
Unless it's a wolf spider. Those hurt.
Well, and they travel in packs.
And only family packs. Of the mommy, daddy, and a couple babies. A couple hundred babies.
Yeah, I've seen spiders.
Gotta be frightening.
Yeah.
God, that's horrifying.
Have you seen them?
Wolf spiders?
Wolf spiders with their babies on them?
No, I don't
the
think
moms carry...
The egg sac.
No. Live spiders on them? All over them, clutching her body. So if you see it at night, it looks like a glittery spider.
Oh, because they're all kind of like moving.
Because their eyes. So if you have a light on them, their eyes are reflecting it, and it's like looks like a glitter ball.
Oh, that's interesting.
Running to you. Yeah.
Well,
running to you.
There goes my sleep. I just Googled that.
Spiders often run at you.
I know someone who I said, don't squish that one. I don't like it when people squish bugs in front of me. It literally grosses me out. I'm not a fan of killing something just for purposes of killing it, but it really grosses me out. So I was like, don't kill it. I'll get rid of it. I was going to, scoop it up, get it out. It happened to be one of the moms with the baby spiders on it. She had very grippy sneakers on. So like hiking.
I'm assuming your friend, not the spider.
Yeah. So like.
It's a lot of sneakers.
Grippy sneak. Like there was a lot of cavities in the sole of her sneaker.
Yeah.
So when she squished it, majority of the babies were able to escape and run out from under her foot, and then there was just like thousands baby.
Well, that's the most terrifying thought I've ever had.
Exploding out from under her foot, but alive.
How'd she take it?
I don't think she's ever smushed a spider since.
I also think she's burned those shoes.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, no, and then it was like wow, like
it's like horror movie stuff.
It went everywhere. Anyway. So, in case you go to squish a weird-looking wolf spider, don't do it.
Just don't do it in general.
Yeah.
Just leave them be. I think it's part we stop talking.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. Thanks again for listening.